he helped me to understand there's going to be 2 times that you're going to be called to account for your activity in Congress. The first time will be your next reelection, and the last time is going to be when you draw your last breath of air.
Yeah.
And so it was thinking about Walter Jones and his conviction to stopping the next war that inspired me to vote for this in large part.
Well, remind everybody what Walter did, because the point that I want to get back to is that, the partisan nature of any debate about war, it seems like everybody rediscovers the Constitution when the other party's guy is in the White House. And Republicans were pretty good about complaining about Barack Obama's unconstitutional wars in Iraq, and we'll probably get into all that. But Walter Jones was the guy that was willing to step up and say, you know what, I made a mistake. Republicans made a mistake by voting to go into Iraq.
Yeah, that was a big step for Walter, and it's virtually unprecedented in politics.
Yeah.
For somebody on a significant vote, like voting on whether to go to war in Iraq, to come out later and say, you know what, I made a big mistake. And Walter didn't just vote for it. He coined this term freedom fries and got some notoriety for it. And then
he was all in.
Yeah, he was all in, and it wasn't like, on the edge sort of vote. And within a few years, and the bodies started coming back, and he represented a Marine base in his district, and he, going and talking to families, he realized he had made a tragic mistake, and that his soul was, in the balance. And he wrote thousands of letters to all of the families who lost a soldier in atonement for that vote. And I had dinner with him almost every week. By the way, neither of us were in the Freedom Caucus, were or are in the Freedom Caucus. And so we kind of had the Walter Jones, Thomas Massie caucus, because there was nobody else to go to eat with on fly-in day. It was like, we're all the conservatives. Well, we're the only 2, Walter. Well, let's go over to the Capitol Hill Club. And so I know for a fact that before every meal he prayed about soldiers. And he told me, look, I'm not going to be here much longer. I don't know how he knew he was going to pass away of a rare disease, but I never took him seriously when he said that. But then he would also talk about his mistake in voting for the Iraq War, and he inspired me. He taught me a lot, and he was a true Southern gentleman. And I was the one who delivered his eulogy on the floor of the House. And I asked people, Walter's one wish was that he could have finished his last term, because he would have served for as long as his dad did. And he didn't get to finish that term. And I said, so when you vote, let's help Walter finish his term by thinking to yourself, what would Walter do?